That's Freddie Falcon mixing it up with some Pee-wee footballers during halftime at the Falcons-Bengals game. No word on what prompted the Falcon to be so aggressive, but I'm guessing meth. Sadly, it didn't end well for Freddie. He will be missed. Not really. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jeff Stoltzfus. That's Kevin. A lot of football to get to. Last week, the NFL owners had a meeting. Russell Wilson lost his sandwich, and Elijah Moore might just have a secret identity. We'll get to all that, plus a look back at all of last week's games. We're talking about Week 7 of the NFL season. We'll recap the games in a second, but first, it's barely news. Sophomore receiver Elijah Moore has requested a trade from the team due to a lack of targets. The Jets say they have no plans to trade him. Dude, shut up. Things could be so much worse. You're gonna get your ass traded to Chicago. There's only one man who has the power to fix this. Zach Wilson. He needs to start carrying a football with him everywhere he goes. And when Elijah Moore is in the vicinity, light him up. Water cooler, relaxing on a park bench, post-game shower, give the man his targets. Putting up a Christmas display on his front yard, at the Chick-fil-A drive-thru, backstage at the Country Music Awards, pallbearer during a funeral, even weirder, or more weirder. Moore is rumored to have created an alternate Twitter account named David Stein, where he's been tweeting in defense of Elijah Moore. Stein tweeted at the Jets press, around the NFL, and Jets player Sauce Gardner. Nice try, Moore, but if you wanted to create a fake account, you should have called it Elijah Moore's burner account. That way, everybody thinks it's a parody account, and you can get as hyperbolic as you want, and people just think it's some rando trying to be funny. David Stein's account has since been deleted. NFL owners had a meeting to discuss Roger Goodell's extension as commissioner. Apparently, Jerry Jones was the one dissenting voice against it. He reportedly got into it with Robert Kraft yelling, "Don't fuck with me!" He's an old rich dude from Texas. I wouldn't be surprised if he climbed on a table and shot Kraft with finger guns while he said it. Luckily, it didn't escalate beyond that. We don't need a pair of octogenarians trading fisticuffs like a geriatric fight club. The owners also discussed diversity hiring practices, and all it took was the Brian Flores lawsuit alleging systemic racism. And damn it, they fixed it! Next year, Amazon will feature the first ever Black Friday game. It's Thursday Night Football, only it's Friday, during the day. Still kind of racist to call Black Friday, though. The Danger Witch is no more. Subway has removed Russell Wilson's signature sandwich from the menu, just because he acted like Kanye Forrest Gump in all the commercials. Was it any good? I don't know. I didn't get to try it. All I know, it was made up of 90% pig, mayonnaise, and banana peppers, spread on a bread made out of yoga mat materials, and sold at a sandwich shop endorsed by a pedophile. And that's barely news. And now, it's time to take a look back, all the way back to last week. It's time for the recap. DeAndre Hopkins returned from his suspension. The fans missed him like a K. Welcome back, Hopins. And welcome back, touchdowns to Thursday Night Football. Holy crap, have we missed you. For the second week in a row, Rashid Shaheed came in for only one play, and it resulted in a touchdown. Way to keep him fresh. Andy Dalton had another tough day, throwing a number of interceptions, including one that was returned for a touchdown, and yielded the perfect shot to sum this game up. Dalton was so upset, he needed a cool, refreshing drink from their 70-year-old water boy. Or is it water man? The Cardinals were minus a couple returners, causing Eno Benjamin and rookie Keontae Ingram to step up, ripping off huge chunks of yardage, and both finding the end zone. Coach Kingsbury said something that set Kyler Murray off. He probably gave him the ending to the 1995 film The Usual Suspects. Damn it, Coach. You can't just say verbal kins as Kaiser Soze. You gotta say spoilers first. The Saints never threatened in this one, but at least they put up points, and the fans finally saw the magical powers of addition. They gotta learn somewhere. Better Thursday Night Football than out there in the streets. The Ravens honored their 2014 Super Bowl team. All the greats were there, even Ray Rice. Do we have video of that? We have video of Ray Rice? Gus Edwards returned to the field. He hadn't played a game since January of 21. That's so long ago, Phillip Rivers was still a Colt. Wentz was an Eagle. The Capitol smelled of fresh insurgent feces, and nobody knew what an NFT was. I mean, I still don't really understand it. After years of declaring Lamar Jackson isn't a running back, the Ravens used him like a running back. This was a typical AFC North slugfest, infested with fumbleitis, that came down to one blocked field goal and one more fumble just to drive the point home. The Browns have dropped to 2-5. Fans must be clamoring for the return of their busy-handed QB, Dr. Masseuse. Scissors, bitches! Interim head coach and undrafted third-string quarterback P.J. Walker took Tom Brady and the Bucs to the woodshed. Walker had 2 touchdowns. He resurrected DJ Moore just to do it. Deontay Foreman rumbled for 100 yards. He ran like GM Scott Fitterer after the McCaffrey trade. The Bucs had no touchdowns. This wasn't even close. Last year, Byron Leftwich was a head coaching candidate. Now people are calling for his job. Because he dropped this Mike Evans pass? Poor Brady. I think the divorce is hurting him more than we realize. I'm talking about Rob Gronkowski. People took issue with Mike Evans signing autographs for the refs after the game. But I don't see what the big deal is. That's just nice. It's not like it altered the outcome of the game. I'm just glad he didn't drop the pen. Coach Wilkes said he sees no reason not to start P.J. Walker next week, and I have to agree. Though I'm sure there's an accountant deep in the organization doing a kickstand right now on Pepto-Bismol, realizing they're paying Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield a collective $23 million just to watch PJ from the pine. Bengals fans love their tight end Hayden Hurst, and why not? He's naturally the team color. They love their quarterback too. Burrow had 500 total yards and 4 touchdowns. That's how you avoid overtime. He didn't play favorites. Every Bengals receiver had a day. They were just too much for the Falcons. And I'm only just now realizing that those Pee Wee players were wearing Falcons logos. Freddie threw hands at his own team? You know what? Screw it. I'm with Freddie on this one. I bet that kid was mouthing off about his high tops or shaming the fat kid. Some kids just need to get beaked. Dak Prescott was back, tossing balls like a horny magician. He said he tried not to do too much, and the Lions made that easy. The Cowboys' defense invested in Jared Goff's ass like a rental property and spent the whole day renovating. Ezekiel Elliott hurdled a guy, and I didn't see it, but he probably did that hungry for soup thing he does too. All the hits. Eat while you can, Zeke. Tony Pollard is stealing food off that table every game. Sam Williams body slammed a guy, which is very much illegal, but there was no flag. Maybe the ref was still woozy from this. Holding. Oh, fuck! At the end of the game, Ezekiel Elliott dropped to his knees in the huddle. What play did Dak call? What a wonderful day to watch a game in a tepid pool of strangers' filth. The Giants started the day reminding us Darius Slayton was still on the team. I had no idea. Daniel Bellinger was poked in the eye and got a free ride to the hospital. What's the point of helmets if someone can reach their little fists in there and punch your eye out? We need bigger gloves or smaller helmets or less fingers. I don't know. I'm workshopping it. Barkley and Jones each rushed for 100 yards. Travis Etienne ran wild too. Daniel Jones showed emotion during the game, and people were shocked. Coach Dable said it surprised him. He described Daniel Jones as a cucumber. Thanks, Coach. Now that's all I can see. The Jags almost pulled the game out, but Christian Kirk didn't have the size, height, weight, or speed to muscle his way into the end zone. After the game, Dable greeted the fans outside the stadium, smoking a stogie and signing autographs. I can't wait until next week, when he's wearing a bathrobe and holding a tumbler of premium scotch. The Commanders held a rally celebrating the franchise. Tanya Snyder celebrated 7 decades of fantastic football. There's just one problem. The franchise has been around for 90 years, meaning the last 20 have been a real shit show. I guess she's been watching. I wonder what happened 20 years ago. She even said hail to the Redskins. They haven't been the Redskins for 3 years. What was the point of changing the name if you're not gonna use it? Hail Hydra, hail Satan, hail anything, I guess. Commanders staff forced fans to take down their sell the team signs, but some found a way around it, and others came prepared. What'd they threaten them with anyway? More Commanders games? Last offseason, the Commanders replaced Taylor Heineke with the most brittle QB money could buy, and surprise, they're back where they started. McLaren said Heineke plays every game like it's his last. Yeah, 'cause they keep trying to replace him. I swear there was a game, and it didn't go well for the Pack. Aaron Rodgers had to deal with drops. Heineke did what he does best, lower their draft position. The Packers finished the game with the hot potato dance, and maybe you don't want to involve your quarterback in that. Just saying. The Titans won this game riding Derrick Henry like a horse from hell and throwing passes to... let's just say no one. The offense didn't score a single touchdown, but they won by 2 scores. How did they do it? Defense. feeding from Matt Ryan's hand like a baby deer. This game was Matt Ryan's Pearl Harbor, not the aerial attack. The movie. That thing sucked and probably cost people their jobs too. This one cost Matt Ryan his. And it's no surprise. How dare he be overwhelmed by a tsunami of humans in under 2 seconds? I'm not saying Ryan wasn't bad. He was picked off twice in this, but I'm pretty sure he had some help losing this one. Like on this interception. I'm no football scholar, but there's only one guy with his head not facing the ball here. The intended receiver. This was a massacre. Colts owner Jim Irsay had to go to one of those rage rooms and work shit out, and I wouldn't be surprised if Matt Ryan was in there. The Colts benched Ryan. They either want to see what they have in 6th round pick Sam Ehlinger or use it as an excuse to lose games and fire Coach Reich. Or maybe it's an act of mercy. No need for Ryan to end his career in a body bag. Former Raider Carl Weathers was there to light the torch, Apollo Creed himself. The Josh Jacobs redemption tour continued. 3 touchdowns. Now how about that extension? Derek Carr threw a touchdown to Mac Hollins and then shared a high five that can only be described as special. Davis Mills mustered a couple of touchdowns, but his final pass went the wrong way in Raider hands. Devontae Adams left the field, and this time made sure nobody was in his way. But a crafty fisherman laid a cunning trap. Derek Carr tried to warn him. Fisherman! But it was too late. Ah! Josh Jacobs spoke to the media in a shot framed like he was live from a dollhouse. He's not that short. This looks like a reunion of the worst boy band ever. Shannon's the bad boy, Peyton's the nerd, and John's the one who looks like a used catcher's mitt stuffed with horse teeth, dressed like an urban update on the Hamburglar. The Broncos were involved in another low-scoring yawn fest, but you can't blame Russell Wilson for this one. He was resting comfortably at home eating pudding. No, actually he was there, looking totally normal. It was Brett Ripien and Latavius Murray leading the way for the Broncos. Let the day drinking begin. Coach Hackett went for it on 4th down more than once, showing an almost stupid amount of faith in Brett Ripien that was not rewarded. Breece Hall broke off a huge run for a touchdown, but the celebration didn't continue to the plane. He tore his ACL in this game. His season is over. His body wasn't even cold before the Jets traded for James Robinson. They're not gonna put this season in Zach Wilson's hands. It's not his mom's best friend than a bottle of Pinot. Congratulations, Niners, on your trade for Christian McCaffrey. Unfortunately, this is a quarterback-driven league. You should really invest in one of those. Jimmy G had some success connecting with Ayuk and finding Kittle for 6, but most of the day, he felt the heat and the ground. The Chiefs forced a fumble and got him in the end zone for a safety. Rub your eyes in disbelief. Mecole Hardman is a thing this season. After a couple of decent weeks, he exploded for 3 touchdowns. 1 receiving and 2 on the ground. Mahomes kept his foot on the gas and closed this one out. I'm gonna eat you. I'm legitimately terrified. The Bolts just ain't right. They're held together with scotch tape. Mike Williams had a vicious injury in this one. He'll be out for weeks. Herbie's missing his top 4 receivers and a tight end. Who's he throwing the ball to? The other team. DK Metcalf had an injury too. Not to worry. Marquise Goodwin picked up the slack with 2 touchdowns. Kenneth Walker had a breakout game, slashing and gashing the defense all day. He ran around them and crop dusted his way for 6, where he immediately made new friends. Coach Staley, is there any reason for hope this season?
No.
At least he's honest. Tua Tagovailoa is back, and Coach McDaniel knew just what to say to keep him in the game. Try not to die. It's just so many forms to fill out. But Tua said nuts to that and crashed into defenders head first. You're gonna need to sew one of those memory foam mattresses to his head to protect him. He immediately revived a stagnant offense, hitting his playmakers and picking up points. George Pickens made a catch in the end zone that was an inch away from incomplete, but instead, it lit highlight Twitter up, and the Pickens legend grows. Kenny Pickett had 3 interceptions, which is best summed up by this shot of George Pickens, locked into a 1,000-yard stare with the abyss. Pickett better get this worked out. His name lends itself too well to harassment. Tua said he had to shake off the rust, and the Rusty Dolphin sounds like a bar I once accidentally patronized and walked away with a few free drinks. Here comes Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi onto the field. Which is which? It doesn't matter. Put them both in the same jersey and rotate them. I bet no one even notices. Mac Jones returned from injury, and it didn't go well. His most notable play was when he put the foot in football, or rather, Jaquan Brisker's balls. Dome shot! The result? Belly crawling from the field and crying for a pistol and falsetto. 3 plays later, Mac Jones threw an interception, and guess who picked it off? It's not a shot to the yam bag, but it was enough for Coach Grumpy Cat to rip Jones from the field. Fans at Foxborough had the audacity to chant Bailey Zappe's name. Sure, why not? Not like they've been chumming the water for him. They sent him in. A little Zappe, make fans happy. And for a bit, he did. Zappe sparked the offense back to life. However, Zappe's magic was short-lived. Roquan Smith put his ass in a blender, and the Bears plucked a pair of passes from him. The Bears looked very un-Bear-like. Fields was working through his progressions. He hit short passes for big gains, and the ground game just never let up. The stadium played Stacy's mom, and the camera caught Zappe singing along, which caused Fountains of Wayne to weigh in. Huh, must be Bears fans. The Bears just kept building. They resisted every natural urge in their being to fuck this one up. It was a big win for the Bears to come into New England and not suck. Pats fans had to use their giant foam fingers to wipe away their tears. And that's our show. Thanks for watching Shut Up Football. We'll catch you next time. Peace!
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. It sound right, boy.
I almost got through that one well. Fisherman!